Divine Collective, Soul Tribe, Soul Family. On the Tap In Late with you all. Now, before I get started with this, I want to say it's been a fight with me. You know, I've really been doing a lot of ancestral communication, which means I've been doing a lot of thinking, and I've been doing a lot of introspection. True indeed. I've been speaking out from a place of not necessarily obedience. I hold back a lot. Like right now, before I came on here, I was fighting because I was like, I really wanted to do this on TikTok. And one of the reasons why I wanted to do it on TikTok is because there's a stronger resignation on TikTok, or so it would seem to be. But as I went deeper in the spirit, and I cleansed my energy and just evening myself out, Spirit leads me back to Facebook. And with all of the energy that Facebook has to offer, I was in a fight, like, I'll just go on TikTok. So I'm here on Facebook, and it's for the few people here that I'm reaching. Like, now a lot of you all, I'm messages now from different kind of like, I'm getting messages and they more and more deeper. They resonate stronger. Like, and I don't really know, who you are or what people these messages are necessarily speaking to. So I wrote down some things. I got me a book, a specific book. This is a new one, so it says connected. I like it. But nevertheless, this book, this is like my first missive from this book. Everything else is blank in here. So I'm here with you all on Facebook. It's a few of you all, and Spirit says mostly you remain silent and you remain in the shadows. And the few of you all who I reach here, because it's a conglomerate of nonsense here. Like, I got witches close to me. I got different people just with different type of energies. And I feel that a lot. But I also feel a powerful energy surge from a few people who watch attentively, because you understand the power at work. And not only that, you've been waiting your whole life to see a power manifest from the metaphysical that rings with an air of truth. So it's a few of y'all that understand what truth is. And for y'all I stay, and for y'all I do this, it's a matter of obedience. So as we begin to manifest things out of our life, midnight is the proper time. So before I jump in, I just want to say, be strong and of good courage, and meet the obstacles in life head on that you have. From a spiritual aspect, it doesn't matter like what's going on. Nobody knows what God's plan is for your life in general. Sometimes God has a way of making things appear a certain way to others. Or the universe has a magnificent way of allowing evil to think that it prevails, when that's never the case, no matter how it seems. So these downloads that I got, man, they real deep. They dig deep. That's why, I put on the tag, we going all the way in. And I pray that you can open yourself up to a level of consciousness where you can receive something, because quite possibly you could be standing next to a person on your left that has something negative to say about what I do. And you could be standing next to somebody on the right that also has the same energy, right? So you have to let truth resonate from within. It's always going to be a lot of controversy surrounding somebody that's doing what I'm doing, right? So for my truth seekers, the few of you all, right, I could feel y'all energy and just continue to grow. So after I do these downloads, I got the card spread, so I'm going to pull a little ancestral spread, just get some energy out. Of course, the messages are all going to be resonating per usual. Number 1, download. Ashe to the ancestors, all praise to the Most High. I ask that God assist me with this, that it may reach deep. I summons in the energy of Archangel Michael, that my messages may be clear, direct, that my intuits may be concise. Amen. If you can't set yourself apart from others, you're saying to the universe, I don't want to know the version of me that emerges from degrees of separation. And this is for somebody that wants to progress. You want to progress, you want to be a newer you want to see a newer you emerge. You want to experience transformation. I get it. I didn't necessarily want to experience transformation, but it befell me anyway. So I began to embrace truth and it began to transform me. But first, I had to set myself apart. See, when you set apart, it puts you in a certain degrees, right? It's like, imagine if you occupied with something in life and God wants to move you to a certain type of place. You can't even hear what God is saying as long as you occupied. So if you're not willing to separate yourself from others at any time, essentially the algorithm that you put in the universe is that I don't want to know the version of me that emerges from separation. In order for you to truly grow into the best version of yourself, or begin to grow into the best version of yourself, you're going to have to get into the energy of embracing separation. God has to move us. Like, it reminds me of Elijah from the Bible. You know, Elijah, he got to going at it with Jezebel. And, you know, Jezebel, she was a formidable opponent. Like, Elijah was a man of great faith. Nevertheless, Jezebel was a woman of many devices, and she set her heart on the assassination of Elijah. So Elijah had to be carried away to a remote location, and while he was there, he received what we receive, downloads, right? It was just him. And in that separation, he was able to refocus himself. So the separation, learn how to embrace it. When you truly want change, or you truly want to see the best version of yourself. Number 2, Spirit says we are closing down all access points to our energy. So that's where I'm at, and those are the messages. That's what they're going to be coming like. It's about closing down the access points of your energy. Yo, you know, spirits are energy, and they are always present. When energy is sent to you and is negative, it has a way of latching on to you. And unless you shut down the access point of it, it's going to latch on to you. You know, prayer is significant. And I'm going to tell you a testament about prayer and being a true son of God. When you get in those places where it's your own doing, you know, it's your own hand that got you in this place, so to speak. It's something that you did. When you get to those places, prayer is your best and strongest weapon. You know, a sincere prayer, it reaches into chambers of the unknown when you're dealing with realms of the divine. When you're dealing with God in heaven, and the essence of what God is, a sincere prayer, it reaches way further than any magic spell that you can ever imagine. Right? A sincere prayer, it moves the hand of God. So when you find yourself in these indifferent places and your energetic perspective is being affected, prayer, sincere prayer. Look, everything you see in front of me, from the candles which I burn for, you know, spiritual reasons of intuition and invitation. You know, I burn different burns, some that I create, but none of this stuff don't mean nothing. It's just a Halloween setup, I heard somebody say, and that's true. unless it's some faith that's going behind this, it's only a setup. And this is why, if you ever ask yourself when you get on my lives, why it's only a few and most people view it afterward, it's because a lot of people don't really want to expose that they watch, right? Now, that shows a person that's not willing to separate themselves from others. I even got some people that I talk to very closely, and in their mind, they are convinced that they can hold the relationship with me, yet still entwine themselves with people that, you know, quite possibly are totally against everything I do. My thing is, it's not on me. I'm going to be cordial with everybody, you know? Like, I got love to offer to any human vessel. I go to war with spirits. So when you come around me indifferent, I know. When you come around me shutting, I know. Do you know psychologically, right? This is from a psychological perspective. When you tap into a deeper version of yourself, any human that come around you, they become physically readable. Particularly when their intentions ain't right, they do something physically. You can't hide from a person that has a knowingness or a proper intuition. It becomes a thing where you see and you know, right? So it's always best to just, when you're dealing with spirituality, you know, and it's a struggle because certain things I want to say that I'm not permitted to say. So I walk with a temperance, particularly about these at this time and what I'm doing. We are closing down access points to our energy, and this is what we're doing. So number 3, the energy of destiny swap, right? Destiny swap. What is it, right? Why is it so prevalent? Listen, what is a destiny swapper? Let's deal with that. What is inside the psychological makeup of a person who's a destiny swapper? First of all, they are people who can see you energetically. Destiny swappers, they can see people's energy. They have a gift. So I'm telling you how to beware of these things. People who can see you energetically, they understand what your energy brings in. So they try to position themselves in your energy in such a way that you forfeit your blessing to them. Spiritually, the battle begins at conception. Now, peep this. You got people who can look at you, and I'm gonna break it down so you can kind of put it in real life perspective. Let's just say I'm on a football team, right? I'm on a football team and I'm pretty good, or I'm the best on the team. Then here comes the new guy. Immediately when he step on the field, I can tell the type of energy he got. He gonna surpass me, right? So if I am a person that has destiny swapping abilities, right? It's a blind witch energy. I'm gonna get to that. But a destiny swapper. So I would look at him and I would say, all right, let me get close to him first, right? This is the psycho makeup of destiny swappers. Let me get close to him and convince him that I come in peace to get close to him, right? So now, what the destiny swapper will always do is they will effectively mimic you in many areas. They may not be detectable to the unconscious, but a person who's woke, they can detect when a person is destiny swapping you. They can see it. Because a person will begin to talk like you. What they'll do, or they'll begin to just move in your... What they're effectively doing energetically is they're putting themselves in a position to you energetically where they can be close enough to kind of move with your energy. Now, the destiny swap with mine, we're on a football team. So opportunity comes as it will, and lo and behold, we might be on the football field, or I might do something and it results in the injury of that person, right? Now, because he down, I get to slip in on the field and do everything I seen him do. That's what destiny swap energy is. It's a person that's basically trying to position themselves in your life in such a way where they can mimic your energy, right? And use it in such a way where they can be right in line with the blessing that's coming. So if they can get you out of your energy and stay in your, they can receive your blessing. Now, spiritually, it's a different kind of battle. When people do destiny swap rituals, it's very different. Like, I've been a victim of one myself. Now, when it's like that, it's the same thing. It's basically a person trying to mimic your energy. And what they want to do is they want to put themselves in a place where they can receive what your energy brings in. And it's not always money. See, it's the energy that brings money in. It's the energy that brings abundance in. Because sometimes people who destiny swap with you or attempt to, they actually have more than you. But they might see one thing about you that's kind of stronger than everything they consider to have. So they can say, well, I wanna put myself in that energy so I can receive that blessing. And it's hard because when somebody begins to mimic your energy, particularly if it's ritualistic, they use lies, right? Now they'll, let's say like different type of magics where they'll use lies to people. And what they're essentially doing is trying to get you to remove yourself from your natural energetic perspective so they can step into it. Because see, your energy is what brings your blessings. Many people don't know that, but the Bible correlates it. It's like, ask and ye shall receive. Think about the energy of ask and ye shall receive. That means that the blessing has to be correlated in the beginning of you asking. See, the asking, it brings forth the blessing. That's because it's resonating from a deeper place within. See, the energy of one is, believe it or not, when I read cards, I'm reading energies. This is why when I do a personal reading, they so detailed and so accurate, almost down to names. It's not, people think of it as, it's spirits, it is spirits. But believe you me when I tell you, it's more psychological energy with a lot of people because you carry around so much on your mind, so much of your energy that if I sit down or any reader sits down with you that has a gift connected through the card, your energy spills it out. That's why when we do readings, right? You know how some of y'all get nervous when we do the readings and you like, oh boy, here they go again. And some of you don't like the accuracy. See, that's internal. I'm going to get to that. But nevertheless, let's stay focused. Remember, destiny swappers, they are effectively wanting to get in your energy. So if you find somebody doing that with you from a physical, natural aspect, you definitely got to remove yourself. Now let's get to the spiritual aspect of destiny swapping because that's a little more deeper. Spiritual destiny swaps involve entities and high rank and low vibrational energies. So humans don't have anything to do with it at the beginning of the spiritual destiny swap, although it will lead to it happening in real life. But spiritually, it happens at the minute the sperm generates and conception comes, the magic of conception, that's when you sign your soul contract. Okay, so what am I saying? Okay, take a sperm cell. Once it clicked with the egg, a soul contract is happening in the 5D, where you're signing agreements with the divine as to what you're going to do when you come in the world. If you have a high ranking, like God put you here to really do something, when you embody into that sperm as it develops, as life as we know it comes in the soul, see, the soul, it has to develop to a place where the soul can mesh. The soul comes with a whole different energy that's fully been exposed to the divine, and it knows. It goes into the body. Now, when you are high-ranking soul and you go into a body, spiritual energies, they already come for your destiny. So that's the reason why some of the most powerful people, I swear I be thinking about my pastor. Still, I consider him my pastor, although I don't function at church anymore. But the testimony of his life, the attacks that he endured and the struggles that he went through, it shows you that he was chosen and he went under destiny swap spiritually at conception. You come into the world and you faced with immeasurable amounts of struggle. I'm going to tell you, thank you, Spirit. Most of us that have reincarnated many a times, you come into a struggle. And some people who incarnate the first time, like if your soul is the first time being here, you can either struggle or you can be wealthy but not comprehend any spiritual things at all because your soul just hasn't been here long enough. This kind of stuff would be oblivious, right? So always remember, spiritual destiny swapping, it happens at the beginning. So you know how you might find yourself struggling with different things and all that? It's quite possible because your destiny is trying to be stolen by entities, though. And you know, they work and operate through humans. So just beware of that. Now, number 4, the blind witch. Man, oh man. This is a subject. Okay, what is a blind witch? A blind witch is a person that very much uses witchcraft but doesn't even know it. Because the witchery is on them. They are known as what's called a blind witch. So what makes a blind witch? Because you could be one and you don't know it, or you could be dealing with one and don't know it. But we're going to identify the blind witch. If your family established karmic spiritual debt, most often it manifests as generational habits or behavioral patterns. When you operate on that generational frequency, knowingly or unknowingly, it's witchery. The spell is often cast unintentionally in one's youth. Phrases like, she get it from my mama, or he just like his daddy. All right, so let's break that whole down, this whole little thing the Spirit gave me down real quick. So the blind witch, let's say you are in a family where at some point they participated in some form of, some form of magic, right? They did something. Now, it will manifest in your family as generational habits that seem to bond everyone. It's spiritual debt. So it manifests as generational habits and behavioral patterns. Now, when you're dealing with a blind witch, they will always possess these generational habits and these generational behavioral patterns. Now, the blind witch uses witchery, very manipulative, right? Very, very, very much a person that is not aware of themselves. The blind witch is that this is the blind witch, so they will oftentimes, man or woman, they'll even go to church or religion. They'll do all of these things, and maybe they'll believe that they believe, but they'll believe ultimately in the knowingness of their witchery, right? Thank you, Spirit. So as a blind witch, you will always know a blind witch, right? Particularly, Spirit says they like to really cling on to spiritual places, like the masjids or the churches or the temples. Blind witches, because they go under these things, because they feel a power on them, so they feel that they really connecting to something light, right? But the only way to really connect to lightness is to truly connect to lightness, right? Now, if you're a person that you go praise God, or you praise, you go praise your Creator, whatever the case may be, if you don't put your faith in that, and you put your faith in your family habits and behavioral patterns, that's witchery. That's generational witchery. So a lot of people, they effectively become blind witches. And they sit in very familiar places. Like, you find them in the oddest places, and they possess a certain skill set, and it doesn't have anything to do with faith in God at the end of the day. This is what the blind... Now, also, the blind witch bears a particular spell that was cast on them in their youth oftentimes. And that is, she got that from my mother, or he just like his daddy. See, that's effectively, what that is that's called spell work. No, it's not somebody getting it, but it's not none of that. But what it is, it's generational bondage being passed down and confirmed by way of reciting that. See, every word that we speak into this universe, it has an energy that causes this is why the universe flows. It flows due to sound, languages, all of these things. They encase an energy that keeps everything moving, right? That's why some very famous artists, when they make songs, they move energy around. Like it reminds me kind of Jay-Z. Like, I remember everybody was wearing jerseys at one particular time in my youth when Jay-Z was, doing his thing or whatever coming up. Everybody was wearing jerseys. Then all of a sudden Jay-Z started wearing button-ups. And he was like, I got a crisp pair of jeans and a button-up. And I watched his words. Jerseys was on sale for like $20. These was 90 throwbacks. They was because he effectively ended one era and ushered in another. That energy of word. So imagine if a rapper can say a word that effectively caused retailers to lose a lot of money and everything to shift. Imagine what it does to a boy or a young girl when they do something negative and you say you got that from your mother. Or they do something negative and you say you just like your daddy. You reinforce the spell word over the child, right? And this is a blind witch tactic. It comes from blind witches. These are things that people do. And just because they're not aware that they doing it, or you're a blind witch, you still harm others. And you can be harmed by a person that's a blind witch. True story. Do you know a person that is very crafty at lies and manipulation is often a person that's very good at a chaotic sort of magic, right? Like a liar and a manipulator is almost all the time using a form of witchery. It becomes wordcraft. Like, a manipulator is able to really, really perform a certain type of hidden witchery. And this is why blind witches are dangerous. Thank you, Spirit. Blind witches are dangerous in society because of the fact that they can promote healing. They can promote Jesus Christ in vain, right? Because they could scream that name, and it's a power on these kind of people. So when you see them, particularly if you're spiritually unaware, you'll always be fooled, because you'll be like, well, I see power, I feel power on that person. But how you truly know what energy a person is coming in, study that person through seasons. And I mean literal seasons. Study them through summer, winter, fall, and spring. Study how they react. And learn where their faith lies before you put your faith in them or a person. See, everybody that comes, you don't know what they are. So a person come to you and they a blind witch. Now you stuck in a situation with somebody using a power on you that they don't even know they have themselves. So blind witchery, begin to recognize it. If you with a person that's that close to as though you may be affected by their words, and it could be manipulation, and you don't want to be in that bag, watch that person. See how they react on times of crisis. See what they resort to. See what happens with them. See what their struggles is. Because if they not pushing for a form of the God that they screaming for on weekends or whenever they congregate, if that's not weighing up, 9 times out of 10, slim chance to not, they're going to be using a form of witchery. And it's blind witchery. Number 5. All who embody hatred, say hateful things. The hater specifically only arrives at the place of being a hater due to internal conflict. Yeah? All who embody hatred, say hateful things. The hater specifically only arrives at the place of being a hater due to internal conflict. And Spirit had to show me that, because I actually talk to people who hate me, and I'd be like, and it'd be different various ways, like particularly when you're speaking to somebody and they think that, well, what you do is easy, or they think that they can define what you do spirit. I'm always careful. I don't look at nobody's spirituality to try to define nothing, because I'm a true light worker and ain't none of it easy. It's people, I've seen people be like, well, what he doing is but you have to make a sacrifice within self to be able to do these certain things, right? Now, the hater, I felt what it feels like to be hated on. But God reminded me, the hater only arrives at the place of being that way due to their own internal conflict. So with that being said, it's, you know, as we move ahead and we close down all access points to our energy, the hater, let them arrive wherever they may arrive. Because anytime you allow yourself to be a victim of the energy of hate, you in a self-imposed prison. And those kind of people never catch up to people like us. In general, I said people like us, because we don't move with that energy. Too busy trying to do what it is that we trying to do, what God is telling us to do. So when you see a person hating on you or hating on others or saying hateful things, just understand that their internal conflict is great. Great. You know, I'm sitting here feeling the energy of a person that, you know, you really want spirituality. You really want the best version of you or whatever. You want that algorithm. But you need the validation of others so much that it will cause you to look at anybody moving in a liberty that you can't have and cause you to hate on. And the only reason why a hater can't have the liberty to move is because you still need validation from too many things. You know? The hater. It's the internal conflict that causes this type of person to be as hate-filled as they are. It's all internal. It has nothing to do with anything on the outside of them. You know, I remember being in some of the around some of the darkest people you can imagine, and their level of internal conflict was so great that it will almost seem undetectable. See, when people have real internal conflict, they come up with a real way to hide it, right? But I will watch people with that kind of conflict, and they will smile when they seen people go through things. I've been around those kind of energies before, and you know, and it was odd because, you know, to me, I can honestly say, right, I've never laughed at anybody that had to suffer or struggle. It's not in my nature. Like, it's really not. Like, even, I'm the type of person, even my enemies, you know, when I've seen some of them fall, I've even felt a form of understanding. Like, you know, so when you have people that have great internal conflict, so much so that they laugh at others, the pain of others, or the peril of others, and they find the energy of laughter, that's a person that suffers from serious internal conflict. And these type of things are all consuming. So, about the energy of the hater, we have to allow them to arrive at the place where they want to go. And that's hater energy. All right. Number 6. When you hear or see or taste things that move you deeply, be it positive or negative, pay attention to what part of your physical body is responding. This is how you determine which chakra is being affected. Okay? So, each part of your body is associated with an energetic chakra. Your system function, your internal organs, everything is related to chakra function. Now, what does the chakra system do? The chakra system navigates us through the metaphysical. It attracts things seen as well as unseen. It's an energy that vibrates from within the body and connects to what's out of the body. So essentially, when let's say negativity is thrown at you, right? A word come and it make you, and it hits you in your heart, right? And you feel then you know your anahata is being affected, your heart chakra, right? Now, say you get the same kind of word and it give you an instant headache, then you know your crown is being affected, right? You know, say you get a news and it, you know, it's very positive, right? And it makes you just get joy, right? Down on the inside of your stomach. That's your solar being affected, your chakra, right? Or, you know, even when you get aroused, right? Let's just say your lover, right? Every time you see him, you just want to wipe him down or whatever. Every time you see him, you just want to eat him up, or however you want to look at it. But what happens in the lower region of your chakra system and your sacral area, energy rises. You feel your physical being affected. All of your body, pay attention to your body. It's telling you what chakras are being affected by different things. We haven't been taught to correlate it like that. Pay attention to your body and the functions. And like I said, when you hear things, see things, or even taste things, and they move you very deeply, whichever way it's moving you, positive or negative, again, pay attention to what part of your body is responding. And then you'll learn how to focus on your chakras, like what you need to work on, what's being affected, what's being exposed. All that is very important, particularly high vibrational individuals. So those were the downloads that I had. Now, before I go, I'm going to tap in and I'm going to do this ancestral collective collective tarot reading. Tapping with the ancestors, see what they talking about tonight. Like I told y'all, man, I was telling y'all, I wanted to be on TikTok and do this, right? And I love Facebook. A lot of people I know on Facebook, all the way back to my childhood. As I look through the phases of my life, I seem to be connected to a lot of people, even on her network, and that's where a lot of the energy of judgment comes from. A lot of the love as well. Like a lot of it, it comes from those places. But see, TikTok is a place where I don't really know anyone there. So, the gift is amplified. So that's always a fun energy that, it feels good to a person to be somewhere where people are very much resonating with your gift. But see, God doesn't, it ain't about that, right? I'm on Facebook because at some point, y'all, we gotta change. Or the energy of the things that take us away, destroy love, it's never gonna prevail, but it could prevail over you. Every war is a series of tiny battles, right? The war consists of tiny battles. So, like, who wants to be a casualty when you could really change? Like, the world is not the place that we thought it was. It's a lot of spiritual and metaphysical stuff that goes on in this world. And it's a lot that's kept from us. So when you have people like us that come along, it's hard for people to accept this, right? But if you shut all that out, shut your mind off. I encourage you, if you know me or her, to begin to receive it's like somebody you don't know. Unless you're going to become a part of a negative energy that's ultimately going to consume those who partake in it. We are spiritual beings. So, it's like this. Thank you, Spirit. If a person has a power on them, or they have whatever with them, but they're not fully aware of it, and you attacking that person, or you saying different things, or you just making different energies, and you making it essentially hard for something right to move, by way of, most of the time, it's people's mouths that never stop running. So, if you're doing that to a person that's unconscious, but then they wake up to their spiritual power, that means that they become a person that they are different. So, you don't want to do spiritual things, particularly people that got ancestors with them, because it brings changes in your life. It does. It brings changes in one's life. So let's get into the reading. I got the cards already pre-shuffled, and I'm going to just flip them up. So we got a 3 of Cups in reverse. Being clarified by patience in reverse. You know, 3 of Cups in reverse is my third party energy card. Like, it's my cheater card, or my somebody's not so honest in love card. Okay? That's 3 of Cups in reverse. And with the patience being in reverse, I'm saying kind of like a real hasty situation. 3 of Cups in reverse to the patience in reverse. Perhaps you're involved with somebody and they're not being completely honest. I'm not saying that they are a cheater. It doesn't mean that. But 3 of Cups in reverse, it definitely means that something outside the relationship is adding influence to the relationship. It don't gotta be a person cheating. It can be a person thinking. That's 3 of Cups in reverse. Like if I'm laid up with somebody, and you know when you hyper intuitive and it's really kinetic, you can tell if you laid up with somebody and they thinking about somebody else, you know. So that could be you with the patience in reverse. Maybe you tired of just knowing what's on somebody's mind. It appears to be another person. Now, I'm going to take this time to offer guidance in that situation. For real. If you're a person and you with somebody, and the dilemma that you have is that they can't get the other person off their mind. Well, if you agree and you are in agreement with this person, right? It's no sense in getting impatient. Maybe the more avenues that you open up within you becomes a distraction to the nagging images in their mind of their past lover. Begin to open up, because see, if they occupy with thoughts and y'all laying together, or y'all in the house, and you find them being preoccupied with thoughts, the more that you press with the energy of impatience, it's going to push them in further into a place where they could begin to even be like, well, man, I don't even know, maybe I made the wrong decision. So you don't want to be guilty of that. When you see a person struggling, and mind you, it's not always that is a past person. It could be something in regards to a past relationship. Some of these things, they become, they gullible, like they become very attached to our mind. So with the 3 of Cups in reverse, like I said, it could be a numerous amounts of things. What we do know is it's an outside influence that's affecting a relationship, and somebody's impatient. So let me get some energy out. Let me grab these Ascended Masters. Okay. So, health and healing, Hilarion. So, okay, I feel like, first of all, you gotta get some patience. Whoever you are, you're gonna have to turn around, and before you can even focus on this relationship you may be in, being one that's full of pure honesty or whatever, you're gonna have to learn how to have patience. And the way to patience is to allow yourself to heal. As hard as it is for you to accept this, when we become impatient about what people have on their mind, a lot of times it's us, and we reciting past traumas as well. Because if a person is in their mind and they're not speaking, technically we don't have a right to say, well, I know what they thinking or what they doing. I've been through this before. You could be in that energy. So no matter what the case may be, as I was saying, health and healing, if you dig deep down inside yourself and, you allow yourself to explore new avenues about you, then all of a sudden you become a more attractive individual to this person that obviously loves you as a Three of Cups. But it's an outside influence that's affecting that person. Now, it's sad to say that when we're in relationships, like say as a man, I can be in a relationship with a woman, right? Now, let's say I neglect to groom myself and I begin to just let myself go. Well, the woman is not going to respond to you the same way she will if you groom yourself and society is responding to. See, if you put yourself in a place where society is responding to your energy, you almost put your mate in a position to respond to you. Now, if you are a person that's balancing your energy in such a way where you're getting good vibes from society, it makes it easier for your mate to appreciate, particularly women. See, women are like that. They are. So, like, you could be a masculine, and you could be in the energy of impatience, and your impatience can be very unattractive at the same time. Yeah, I've learned with women, and this is just for a masculine, this is just some advice, you take it or you can leave it. But when women get in the energy of their thoughts, it's truly best to get as far away from them as you can, because you don't become you become a distraction at that point. No lie. When women get in the mode of that thought, and it's best to just get far away from them. Give them time to process it all. But if because you could be an intuitive man and you can be dealing with a woman and her internal workings. So it could be making you irritated that she's not being honest with you about what she thinks about. But it's petty on behalf of the masculine. And I'm going to tell you why, because it leads to misusing your gift. Probing a person is a misuse of your gift. It's almost a form of manipulation, right? I'm saying for my masculine, when you're in an energy of being locked out of her thought processes, just get away. She'll come back to you. It's like the opposite attract energy, right? And for my feminine, that could be in the energy of impatience. I can tell you like this: being a man, when you begin to question the man in thought about what's going on in his mind or whatever, to us it's not necessarily a distraction, it's an irritation. See, it's a little more deeper with us. Like, sometimes I've been at the place in my life where when I'm in my thoughts, don't distract me, I get borderline angry with you, right? I'm a lot better now, but I do show signs of powerful irritation when I'm in that mode of thought, whatever it may be. We gotta learn to give each other time, patience. Right? It leads to health and healing, and that's good because, as I was saying, when we get away from one another, it allows us to heal. It really does. It's for one, it's discipline and it's healing. Like, if you can force yourself to rise above your emotions and walk away from something that you want to entertain, it's healing within that. And it begins to create a healthier mind, right? Some things that cause Three of Cups to be in reverse, Spirit says are very petty issues, right? If you got somebody that love you and you love them, or whatever the case may be, that could be it. Now, if it's a third party and somebody's cheating, you have to know the value of yourself. Again, health and healing. If I'm in a relationship with somebody and they cheating on me, that's not healing me, nor is that healthy. So for you that's in that Three of Cups energy, in reverse, you're dealing with somebody that's cold-blooded cheating on you. And your patience is ran out. So maybe you should just take patience off the table and just go ahead and get on out of there. Because it's unhealthy. And I'm not trying to bust up anybody's relationship, but I'm going to speak truth and I'm going to speak clarity. There's too many things in the world, physical infections and spiritual infections, right? That if you're dealing with a person and they going outside the relationship and they getting entangled with somebody else, a third party, it's too risky in these days and time we live in. There should be no patience for that. I'm not even gonna lie, and I'm not being biased. I'm speaking purely under the spiritual authority that God has given me when I say this. We live in a day and time where, you know, God forbid, I'm in a divine union and my divine counterpart decide that they want to go out and get entangled with something. And it doesn't have to be a disease. It could be a sexually transmitted demon. Spirits are transferable. It's just more stuff that you don't want to contend with. You know? The exchange of bodily fluids without your consent. If that's going on in your energy, you want to reconsider. Unless you don't want to be healthy or you don't want to heal, then I guess you can stay right where you are. But if you're serious about your health and healing, and you in this Three of Cups, this kind of one, where there's cheating going on, you have to choose you first at some point. Next up, we got the Fool in reverse. The Fool in reverse being clarified by the Fear in reverse. I'm going to tell somebody, slow down. And I'm going to tell you why I'm saying slow down. And I'm feeling this is for a man, a masculine, indeed, or a woman in masculine energy. Listen, Fool in reverse to the Fear in reverse, that's somebody that's moving very wrong and has no fear about it. The Fool in reverse is, it represents the misuse of a God-given talent, an energy that God gave you. When it's the Fool in reverse, it's the direct misuse of it. It's like God gave me the ability to play instruments for him, but I play instruments for the demonic. Or God gave me something, but I do. You know, that fool, or the fool's energy could be, God gave you a brilliant mind and you wasted it. Or God gave you an ability maybe to fix things with your hands, metals, right? And you just not doing it. And then the fear in reverse is a sign of a person moving. You know, the Fool in reverse to the Fear in reverse, I'm saying a person, you could be drinking a little bit more than you should be. And you could really be in the energy of knowing damn well you out of line, right? And your fear in reverse is This could be like the acceptance that you all in and you made your bed. I don't know. But I do know Fool's energy in reverse to the fear in reverse is a person that's moving you. You moving in an energy of not being afraid. And I will say, fear is an illusion, but danger is very real. Right? Danger is real. So sometimes when we get in Fool's energy in reverse and stay there, we as divine people, or as enlightened beings, I should say, we know that fear is an illusion. But we can't look at fear as being an illusion when we moving in Fool's energy in reverse. We headed towards danger. Danger is very real. You understand? Right. The energy of thought just came out. Emerald tablets could be significant. You could be a descendant from Egypt, Egyptian bloodline in my energy. You could also have an ancient kind of knowledge. I'm also getting a different read now. But this Fool in reverse, to the fear in reverse, to the right card, maybe this is also a cloak energy. Like, you could also be a person that's in total alignment. And everything you doing could appear to be not in alignment. This Fool now I'm getting something else now. This Fool in reverse, to the fear in reverse, to the right, upright with thought, it's kind of now showing me a person that you may be moving in divine cloaked energy. Like, this could quite possibly be about why you don't have no fear. Because I was off for a minute, like, who moves in Fool in reverse without no fear? That's like, but when I see Thoth and right, like, let me get something else with this. Let me get something with this thought. Crystals. Okay. Crystals. Right Thoth crystals. I'm talking to a divine being. Right? God is cloaking you. Because you got the Fool's energy out here in reverse to the no fear in reverse. You know what that's kind of showing me now with Thoth and the crystals? See, this is a person with crystals and Thoth. That's emerald tablets. Crystals is an emerald. You see how it's all correlating? I mean, crystals is a stone. Emerald is a stone. The tablets are emerald. These are the tablets that Thoth did right. Right? Man, somebody Akashics is strong. So I'm talking to a divine being. You're a divine creation. And maybe you moving in the energy and everybody like don't know what you're doing. So you could seem like the Fool in reverse. So your lack of fear, I guess is, I see why you're not in fear now. Well, I'll elaborate on this a bit, and I'll say, if you are a divine being, I just want to send you your flowers. If you are moving in your divinity and your purpose, helping raising the collective of humanity, saving, healing, giving it all you got, I just want to encourage you to stay in that energy. No need to explain. No need to try to compensate. No need to be worried about whether what you have is good enough. No need to worry about every little detail. You, my friend, allow spirit to work. Sometimes when we working close with spirit, we forget that we working close with spirit. So we get to, well, let me do this, let me do that. Kind of start pulling yourself back from that. Like, allow spirit those areas to move. Right? Do like I've been doing lately. I've been getting thoughts and downloads, and now I kind of just sit on them and resonate. There was a time when I first started working with spirit as close as I am. Spirit would give me such profound downloads, I would get and I would go. And I effectively began to give my enemies information that it caused me greater encourage, you know. So as wisdom grew, I don't give them anything anymore, right? I give everything I have to those that have a heart and right standings. And this is you. I just want to, you know, I'm not going to put too much out here about you that I'm saying, but I see God got you cloaked. And they might not understand you, but they will get it. You just keep doing your business. Right off with the crystals. And that's very powerful energy. Okay, so let me get to these last two. We got a Page of Swords. Air sign energy. Libra, Aquarius, Gemini. Page of Swords. You need to take your time before you act. Page of Swords being clarified by the denial in reverse. So I'm saying somebody, and this is good. Like you've been restless, talkative, and you kind of been a little immature. But you're not denying it. And that's, to me, the only thing I can say about a person that's like that is that, you know, I feel that's all love in the universe. When we say, all right, I know I've been cutting up, I ain't going to deny it. Lord, whatever it may be, judgment or chastisement, bring it on, right? This is you in that energy, right? You know that you've been doing some immature things, speaking out of line, Page of Swords energy, gossiping, right? Talkative, aggressive, communication, very eager for the result of your gossip even. You know, like, I've never been a big gossiper, but I have told some horrible lies, particularly out there when I was out there playing around and, illegal activity, so to speak. I was able to do those things, and I see this energy. Like, I couldn't wait for the effect of, I would tell a lie over here, and I would wait for the effect to show up over there, right? Same energy of a gossiper, right? You could have been a person like, I'm going to say this over here, and waiting for it to move around there. I'm saying somebody checking their phone and, for the results of their mayhem. Page of Swords energy. A lot of gossip. But I feel that the universe kind of set someone down, brought them a dose of their own reality. And I respect you because you're not in denial about it. You're willing to be a person and that's the beginning of shadow work. When you look at the universe, you know how the universe got a way. Now, God is the universe. Make no mistake about it. When I speak of the universe, I speak of those luminescent presences that you start feeling them, The universe, what God works through. What am I saying? You know how when you do something, and when you do it, you get that epiphany like, man, that's going to come back. I don't know if I should have done that, right? Then, lo and behold, when the thing do come back, it brings another energy. You feel it from the universe. You all of a sudden feel it right in the atmosphere. You be like, I know why this is happening. I know why. That kind of energy. Well, Spirit puts somebody in a place like that, where maybe your gossip caught up with you. And maybe if it's not gossip, it could have just been the energy you was putting out. Aggressive toward others, you met with aggression. Restless, creating restless situations. Now you may be restless, Very energetic, but not in the right way. So you could have experienced negative energy coming back at you. I feel like whoever you are, when the universe brought that rhythm, and says, you ain't right, you was like, okay, I know. And that's great energy, right? To not be in denial, off the Page of Swords. Now, let me pull one of these Ascending Masters. Kuan Yin, one of my favorites. Kuan Yin says, let it go. Right? So, I'm feeling like Spirit is saying, ancestors all present, just let it go. Like, maybe you're spending too much time. It's like you did a thing, universe brought you chastisement, you agreed that it was you, to yourself, you said, okay, self, this me. Now, they saying, now let it go. It was you. Now, have the energy to let all of it go. The processing of it, the guilt of it, the replaying it over in your mind. Let it go, that you may move directly on. Because see, it's about moving on. Page of Swords, the now in reverse. We don't want the stagnation of it all. So, Kuan Yin says, let it go. So let's move on. Move right on, right? Into something righteous. And don't make the mistake that got you in the energy of, being penalized or however you had to be humbled. Don't make that same mistake all over again. If Spirit is giving you the ability to let it go, it's so that you can make a power move. You know how they say, make your next move your best move. Speaking of that, what shows up? Wow, I was looking for that. Seven of Pentacles in reverse. Let me clarify that. Get something with this Seven of Pentacles in reverse. Indecision. Wow. So this last energy is, you are a person and you are wasting a lot of your talent, your time, disorganized. Maybe you're giving up. And it's because you have indecision in your energy. And when we are indecisive about a thing, it's not even no sense in even doing, they say, what did they say? Some type of a man uncertain is unbalanced. And, what did they say? Something about a man being unstable in all his ways or whatever, right? Well, indecision can lead to that. When you are indecisive and what you're doing requires decisiveness, you're not even reaching the energy of, it's best to leave it alone. Because if you're trying to invest in something that requires your energy to be directly focus in, and you can't do that, the best investment is to not invest in that at all. And that's reality. That's because if I'm investing in something and I'm not sure and I'm not decided, I'm wasteful and prudent, right? There's no reward in that. It's almost like the energy of lukewarm water. A wasted effort. Give me a failed effort over a wasted effort. That's how I feel about that energy. I'd rather fail at something than waste my time doing it because I was undecided. So this indecision, now Spirit is given maybe a footnote. It's kind of like the polar aspect. It says, I use my intuition in all aspects of life. So this is where you're not getting it. Thank you, Spirit. Your investments are in the reverse because you won't use your intuition. You undecided because you won't allow your intuition to speak. And this is where your ancestors talk to you. Did you know that? One of the major ways of ancestral communication is through form of intuit. So they intuit with us. They pass messages through your intuition. It's deeply subliminal. And it's a place where, those type of areas of the mind, they blocked out from lurkers, dream thieves, astral projectors. They can't get into your intuitions, right? They can get into the chaos and the debris of your mind. This is what astral projectors do. They go into people's mind and they deal with what's there. Well, it's cloaked energy in anybody's mind. You have the energy of the creator, and then you have the energy of intuition. They can't see either or. They can make maybe an educated assumption or a calculation, astronomical, or, they like to play around with astrology. But nevertheless, if you keep your connection strong with God, that's the first investment. All right? That's going to increase your indecision. Faith in the Most High. Because I'm saying somebody, you're very powerful in your movements and very educated, very calculated, but you don't have no true belief in a higher form of power. And as long as you don't, you will always never reach the mark. No matter what a magician tell you, a warlock, an atheist, if a man convince you that there is no higher power at work, that's a wrong investment. Take it from a man that knows. And it's best, and this is not chaos magic I'm using when I say this. God is oneness. There's not a person who avoiding dogma, right? I don't avoid dogmas. I look through religions that correlate the energy of God with them. I'm not a person that does all of that, right? So I feel like my advice to you is to become a person that can find a higher source to put your faith in. Because this indecision right here is blocked intuition or weak intuition. I'm going to do this. Nah, I ain't going to do it. I'm going to wait. Right? Maybe you are a person, you do way more thinking than talking or acting. You won't even speak up, perhaps, more than you think. See, when I see an indecisive mind, that's a person sometimes, you got too much going on, right? It's like, I got a lot going on, I can't make a decision. So let me clarify this. Detached from the drama. Pallas Athena. So I'm saying what it is right there. In order for you to make this whole thing a positive investment, and in order for you to tap into your intuition properly, you gotta detach from the drama. That's what's holding you up. I'm seeing a lot of drama surrounding your energy, whoever you may be. And as long as there's drama, there will be indecision, confusion, distraction, chaos, all of those things that follow. So these are things that block the intuition. You can't even think straight. So my advice to you before I dip off, detach from the drama. Put your faith in your God, the God of your understanding, as they say. Put your faith there first. Ask God to detach you from the drama. Pray for your ancestors to free up some space in your mind. Help you with your indecision. Now, when you make prayers, you have to pray and believe. A good way to show that you praying for faith and you trying to reach the faith to even understand what faith is, clean up and make a sacred space. Before you pray, I know you might not be a big prayer or whatever, however the case may be, but I'm trying to help somebody. We all have metaphysical powers, God and the ancestors. When you can't find out how to reach them, find an area or somewhere in your home or wherever you may be, clean it up and just pray. Standing, kneeling. Take time to reverence a force that's greater than you. Even if you say, I don't know God by name, there's so many things, but I know that there's an eternal creator. I know that there is a higher form than man that will connect you right where you want to go at. Well, that was the message. Love you all. Pray that it resonated. God bless you.